Hello everyone. Today we will continue with our poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, and today we are going to do its third stanza, right? And according to third stanza we can give it a heading, and the heading is Poets cynically respond to the student's future, right? It means the poet is talking about student's future and he sounds very worried, right? So let us begin with the third stanza. Surely Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. And the third line, for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes, from fog to endless night. On their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with mended glass like bottle bits on stones. All of their time and space are foggy slum. So bloat their map with slums as big as domes. So these are the lines of third stanza. Now let me explain the words to you. Surely Shakespeare, according to poet, Shakespeare is evil for the children of slum, because we all know that Shakespeare in his writing, Shakespeare usually describes the lives of kings, right? And it is very far, the life that is explained there in the books of Shakespeare's, in the writings of Shakespeare's, are very far away from the reality of these children's life, right? And again, the map a bad example. Which map? The world map. Why the world map is a bad example for these children? Because it shows the richness of world, the richness of the world with ships and sun and love, right? And these things are very far away from the lives of these slum children. So what make them it allured them to steal. So these things, that map, that world map and the writings of Shakespeare, drag them into crime, right? Because legally they can't own all the things, all the lives, all the materialistic things, all the luxuries of life, but after learning about these things, the children feel tempted to own them illegally, right? And then, for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes, right? And their lives for the whole lifetime they lived in those slums which secretly turned their homes into holes, right? From slow fog to endless night, right? And their life begin in fog and end in night. It means throughout their lifetime they live in darkness, right? Deprivedness. On their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones, right? On their slag heap, and they live on slag heap. It means the poet is considering the children of slum as the wastage of this whole refined world, metallic wastage. The poet is considering them metallic wastage, right? These children wear skins peeped through by bones, and here the poet describes the undernourished condition of these slum children, and how he says that the children are very skinny. They are extremely skinny, and one can see the bones which are peeping out of their thin layer of skin. And spectacles of steel with mended glass like bottle bits on stone. Here spectacles of steel. Here again the poet is highlighting the malnourished condition of these children, because they have impaired eyesight, right? And due to impaired eyesight they have to wear specs, but the specs are not actually of good quality. They are cheap and uncomfortable. They are made up of cheap and uncomfortable metal, right? And with mended glass like bottle bits on stone. And here what the poet says, that their eyes are like hopeless eyes, right? The poet describes the eyes of children with the bottle bits on stone. Here the poet says that the eyes of these slum children are quite hopeless. They don't have any brightness or shine in their eyes. In last second line, all their life, all their time and space are foggy slum. The poet is saying that all their time means their whole lifetime, and space. And space means their living space, their living areas is confined to that area only. To that area means to the slum area only, are foggy slum, and they for the whole lifetime they live in dark and filthy slum. So blot their map with slums as big as doom. And then the poet says that, so blot their map. Whose map? The map of the rest of the world. It means the world map. The poet insists that to aware the people, to aware the government, he wanted that to mark spots on the world map with slums. And how did he indicate the slum? As disaster or hell-like places in this world, right? Here the poet want to say that he wanted to aware the government and the people or the living beings about the condition of slum children, and he wanted them to give to mark slum, to show slum on the world map as disastrous place, so that people or the government should become some aware about these places and should do for the upliftment of these children, right? And then now let us discuss the literary devices in these lines. First of all, we see Surely Shakespeare. In Surely Shakespeare we have alliteration because of the repetition of the sound s, okay? And then in Crammed Holes we have metaphor. And how it is a metaphor? Because the homes of these children are like holes, right? Very small holes. The houses are very small, like holes. And then we have again a metaphor, slag heap, right? The poet is considering the lives of these children like the heap of wastage, right? And then we have alliteration because of the repetition of from, fog and ff sound here. And then we have simile like bottle bits on stones, right? उनकी eyes को, जो बच्चे हैं उनकी eyes को पोइट ने कैसे एक्सप्लेन किया है, जैसे वो स्टोन है और उसके ऊपर कवर लगे हुए हैं, बॉटल, जैसे बॉटल के ऊपर कवर लगे रहते हैं, राइट? And all their lifetime and space are foggy slums, so blot their map with slum as big as doom. And again here we have simile, and how the simile here? Slums are as big as doom. Slums को वैसे ही दिखाइए जैसे कि hell like places or disastrous places on this in this world. Yes, now we are on the final stanza of the poem, and first let me read out the stanza first. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. Break, oh break, open till they break the town, and show the children green fields, and make their world run azure on gold sand, and let their tongues run naked into the books, the white and green leaves open, history theirs, whose language is the sun. So let me explain this poem to you, these lines to you. First of all, in the first line, unless governor, inspector, visitor, here the poet makes an appeal. He makes an appeal to the government, to the authorities to bring out a change in the lives of these children. He wanted the government to recognize, to notice the problems being faced by the children of slum, right? Then he urges them to change their life of these kids and make the world map a reality for them also. Here the poet wants, what the poet wants? Here the poet wants to make the children to make the children a part of the world map, that beautiful and rich world map, right? What he says, this map become their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs, because these windows, the windows of the slum school are shut upon their lives, right? Because the school made no development, bring no change in the lives of these children, and it is turning their lives into catacombs, right? Burial chambers, or you can say that it is making their lives like grave, right? What the poet says, break, oh break, open till they break the town. What the poet says, there is a need to break the restrictions on these children. There is a need to break the restrictions which are put on them due to poverty and lack of resources. Here the poet wants to provide them opportunities, right? Especially opportunity to get educated, because the poet knows that education is the only tool which bring a huge and positive change in the lives of these children, right? So what the poet here wants, he wants to break the restrictions that are put on these children, right? And he wanted to provide them resources, he wanted to make them come out of their poverty, right? And then what the poet says, and show the children green fields. He wanted the children to experience the nature, the beautiful nature, the fresh nature, as nature is a source of good health, and he wanted them to enjoy the bounties of nature and make their world run azure on gold sand, and let them run on the gold sand. Gold sand means, here the gold sand represents richness, right? Let them be a part of, let them have a share of them in the sky, in the blue sky, and the richness of the world, in the resources of the world, and let their tongues run naked into books, the white and green leaves open, right? Let them provide education, let them provide an opportunity to get educated, to get good education, right? So that they can let them made free to whatever they wanted to read, right? And the books and green leaves open, right? उनके पास let them read the books freely, and let them enjoy the nature freely, right? Let them be the honor of good health and wealth, because history theirs whose language in the sun. The poet here wants what he wants. He wants the children of slum to be creative and constructive, right? He wanted to them be creative and constructive so that they become a part of history, right? Because in history we only read about those people who gave a very meaningful contribution in the society, for the society, or we can say for the nation, right? So here the poet also wants that the children should be provided with opportunities so that they can become a part of history, and they will gain the strength of language, right? So with this, that's all for the explanation, and let us finally discuss the figure of speech or poetic devices used in these lines, right? So here are few poetic devices like window. Here we have repetition, right? In next line, their lives like catacombs. Here we have simile, क्योंकि यहाँ पर like है. Then we have, yes, metaphor here. Language is sun. Here the poet is showing the language is compared to the strength of sun, right? So that's all for this poem. Have a good day and goodbye.